the Black Man Games podcast, episode, 421, 430, 442, 890, 4,000, I don't know.
Welcome to the Black Beans podcast. We're the Black Mind Beans podcast. We talk about beans and beans product and beans by beans, and then we spill the beans.
And we talk about beans and more beans, and then we apply for jobs, and then
we gone Don Beansed it.
We talk about how important the beans are and how to save your beans and
how to grow more beans, because your bean production is very important.
Bean production is very important. We should keep that in mind. Most people don't do enough bean production.
You want to make sure you have enough water for your green beans first, and then you can move on to red beans, and then your special red and green beans mixed together.
Yes.
Totally. And then eventually you get to the legendary black bean.
The legendary black. Yes, you want your legendary black bean. So, yeah.
Some say there's a mythical white bean, but we don't talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So,
how was your week, Josh?
I'm Josh, and I have an okay week. I actually just did like a family reunion just Saturday. And no, actually, for a lot of people, their like family interactions are like, they either between bad to it was bad but okay.
Okay. No. Okay. I'm gonna argue with this. Okay.
Okay. Because like I talk to many people about like, my family is this, that, and the other thing, and
I'm convinced. That's only a certain section of the population that has that issue
about bad, like families are just terrible.
No. Oh, well, not the family being terrible, but like where they're like every family gathering turns into an argument. I'm convinced that is a certain section of the population.
There's always a certain section of population of like, the families. Like I don't know, like for people I talk to and the people I've interacted with and go like, we have a family gathering every so often. And there's some people who go like, we never go to a family gathering because when you go is just, it's, fucking, it's a clown shoes, put on clown nose event. And it's like, well, great. But like at the same time, it's like, it's just kind of like disturbing how maybe my friend groups are just small and the people I interact with are small, but it's like, these people just don't have very good like family lives or their relatives are also just kind of shitty. And then I look back at my family and my relatives and like, how did I make out with such a boring family? Apparently this is rare. Like from what I understand, it's like no one has a boring family. And it's like, It's like there was never like abuse of anything in the family. There wasn't anything like I don't know, I guess stereotypical, like if you think of a TV show family and how they get through their situations. But our family was kind of like the same thing, except way more boring. Way more boring.
They were like the guys who like, we have everything figured out.
If anything, it's just, I think our family just had more sense than most other families. So it's when it comes to like making decisions of important things, it was like, well, this is clearly more important than this other bullshitty thing. Or like, I don't know, let's say let's say Christmas is rolling around and it's like, get the kids shit because the kids' Christmas is important. Parents like, whatever, it's Christmas. And then,
so what I'm hearing is that your family is not like Nick Ricada.
Yeah, our family is not like that.
No, you didn't all of a sudden become a cokehead and a drug addict and get caught banging some guy's girlfriend. Wife. It was his wife. Live on television.
Really?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's insane.
And then there was like this really like, on top of that, it gets worse because he goes, I'm so stressed out. I'm gonna do some coke. Does coke, and he goes, so you see, he's talking to this guy about stress, and he goes like, he's like, you see, here's the thing, okay? Once you do the drugs, your stress level, you know, most people they can take a certain amount of stress, but if you take coke and drugs and alcohol, you can take a lot more stress. And it's like, Nick, that's like the sign that you should probably stop. Like, holy shit. Yeah, so your family's not like Nick.
Yeah.
You're not.
I'd say our family was like, I don't know.
Josh's family is not. Josh's dad is not ever going to be on Father of the Year things because Josh's family is just so boring.
I mean, like, I'm sure there's our share of situations that would happen to be like, I don't know, such and such got beat up or such and such got chased by some crazy asshole or whatever. But then when it all boils, you know, when it boiled down, once the situation is over and we figured it out, it was like, oh, problem solved by normal means. So, yeah, like it was never anything of like, oh, there's a drug addiction in the family. Nope, that ever happened. There wasn't alcohol abuse. There wasn't abuse in the family. There wasn't, yeah, like everyone just got along for the most part. And that's about it. Like everything was just like, oh, we had our video games and we liked wrestling and shit, and everything seemed to be fine. So, boring families, yay! Mm-hmm. There was also at the same time of like when I was a kid of like, man, I wish we can go to like Disneyland or do whatever cool thing that was showing on TV. But of course, it was like, if I realized at the time, it was like, oh, we're kind of a, you know, we live a what was it, medium to low income bracket, because my dad was just like a carpenter / he built scaffolding for companies and stuff like that. So it was like, so it's that type of a, you know, that typical family life. Think of like Roseanne, basically. Instead of, although it's like lifestyle of Roseanne, but less fucked up.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, like I was thinking of like, what's a good facsimile of my family? Oh, think Roseanne, yeah, but then take that down a couple notches of fucked up. Then that's my family. That's in a nutshell.
Sounds about right.
Oh, yep. And anyway, did a reunion on the Saturday, and I got to see all my old relatives and all my cousins. As time goes on, all of my cousins kind of just are growing. Like basically, all my cousins are growing up. I'm also growing up, and everyone else is kind of having lives already. So when it comes to like going to reunion, I see mostly my aunts and my uncles. I see some of my cousins, and then I also see some of my niece and nephews, and then also realizing that, oh, my cousins are also having kids, and then realize, oh, I'm great uncle. I'm like, oh, damn, didn't realize I was that like we're that far down the line already. So it's like bullshit. And what else? Yeah, like as time goes on, it's like, oh, people are just, you know, couldn't make it because work or whatever, and then you start looking at everyone's like faces, and you start realizing time is just actually time is a factor, and you're like, oh no, time's still moving on. I hate it. Mm-hmm. I fucking hate it. Let me stay in the mid 2000s, please. I'll think I'd be happier there.
Yeah. Oh, it's really seeming like that.
Oh fuck! Like if there was a time frame to stay in there, it'd be like either the mid 2000s, maybe 1998, because a lot of cool shit was happening then.
God.
But at the same time, in 2000,
that's the one reason to get a Neuralink. is to like just constantly relive the 2000s.
Constantly be like, oh man, isn't this shit was so rad, and then you pop out.
Man. Yeah.
You pop out of it and you're like, ah, damn it. And what else? One thing that was funny is that so our chunk of the relatives / the other half of the uncles and family were watching the hockey game. Someone figured out to bring a TV and how to get the hockey game going.
Oh yeah.
And so it was also very close to where the or me and a bunch of cousins were playing card games. And we're playing the Wizards. Oh, I forget what the hell it's called. It was like Wizard Battle or Wizards Battle Royale or something. Yeah. It's basically Magic the Gathering Light.
It's Magic the Gathering, but for kids.
It has this artwork where you look at it and go, oh, this came from like Adult Swim. That type of like artwork is like, it looks gross, but it's on purposely gross, and it actually looks really nice, but it's meant to be gross for a reason. So it's not overly done. It's just like, oh, I see, this is meant to be gross for it's like cartoonishly gross, but no added details. It's just cartoonishly, oh, this guy's head exploding, but it's not like absurd amount of gore.
It's gross, but it's not so gross that you're like, oh god.
Yeah, you just
that's
go
disgusting.
It's more of like you look at it and go, oh man, this guy's head exploding. Oh jeez, that's type of.
Oh jeez, Rick.
Oh jeez. So it's funny, as the hockey game was going on and as we're playing our this weird wizard game, the hockey scores kept getting, the Edmonton kept scoring over and over, and me being a shit just kept yelling 10-1, 10-1, and as the game kept going and they kept scoring, I'm like, is this gonna be real? Should I just keep chanting?
So Josh is actively assisting the Edmonton Oilers in winning beating the.
Oh fuck! Yep, I was like actively giving them my energy to help them win that game even further.
The spirit bomb, everyone.
Come on, everyone, chant with me: 10-1, 10-1.
I mean, that game was pretty fucking crazy because.
It's like the other team just gave up.
No. I think that what happened was I think that the Oilers were like, hey, we're just going to fucking score and we're just going to do our thing. And then they fucking just kept on playing like they were just going to. They kept on playing like a team.
Oh.
And that's kind of like what they needed to do. That's what they should have done a long time ago, but they didn't do it. They didn't do it when they had a chance down in Florida, and the goalie was really on fire both times.
Oh,
so you end up in this situation where suddenly your goalie's the best defense, you have the best scorers in the league, and they can't beat Krakus goalie. So what do you do? Well, you fucking continue trying, and eventually you'll score. And the Oilers were able to crack the nut.
You gotta keep whacking pucks at him until when he finally gives, you get that score.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep going. You'll eventually give. Yeah. He can only take so many pucks to the chest.
It wasn't so much the pucks to the chest. It was more like they were like, hey, we're just going to continue scoring. And then they just kept on scoring. And, as it was just happening, you were just like, oh. And then it got so bad that they benched the fucking guy. Poor guy.
Oh, no. Poor guy. But, yeah, I was doing a spirit bomb chanting 10-1. And they almost got there. Yeah, more or less my Saturday was chilling with relatives, and the location that we had our family gathering was a old barn converted to a family gathering spot. And it turns out the family that already had this barn converted, they always had basically they converted this old barn to a family gathering spot because they also had a lot of families gathering events all the freaking time. So they're like, why don't we just convert this old barn into like a nice building we can all hang out in? So they're basically what they did is that on this kind of farm that we went to, that this one building is now gutted and then revamped into like, oh yeah, like there's tables, chairs, whatever the hell you need. Plus there's kitchen, toilet inside and out.
So it's the lamest fucking place on the planet Earth.
No, what makes it actually kind of neat is that it's on a farm and you can kind of venture around and look at stuff, and you see
Josh,
like
you're not convincing me. I said it's the lamest place on the planet Earth, and you were like, no,
it's actually kind of cool because I saw
so
some
cool.
They had chickens there.
They're chickens, man.
Yeah,
you know?
To be fair, I'm
Better
such a
than Star Wars acolyte.
I'm such a freaking, I don't know, like a shut-in nerd. When I saw some real life chickens, I go, I've seen those.
Oh my god, it's a chicken.
Oh fuck! I was just like, I've seen these things before on my computer monitor.
So what I'm hearing is that you had fun.
Yep, it was fun.
You did not watch Star Wars acolyte as asked.
Nope. And also they had peacocks in this chicken pen, which was interesting. And throughout the whole night, we kept making fun of the peacocks because it sounded like, yeah.
So what I'm hearing is that the one thing I asked you to do, you didn't do.
Of course.
Because you were like, why would I watch Star Trek?
Why would I watch Star Trek when I could have been watching Star Wars?
Why would I watch the group of people who go, the power of one, the power of two, the power of many, the power of one, the power of two, the power of many, into some guys like fucking, which apparently I guess that song is like a reference to like fingering and fisting.
Really?
Yeah.
Are they subtle enough to make that an actual suggestion, or what they are actually trying to make that a LGBT positive thing?
I don't know.
Because I can see that being an LGBT positive thing, and then people going, "Oh, is this an like a hidden message for fisting?" And then the writers were putting their hands on their heads, going, "Oh God, oh God."
No. Yeah. All I know is that, you know, when they deleted the ass, it was very upsetting from Tracer. When they did this shit, it was very upset. And, you know, when they made episode 8 and all of the war started, it was just like, you know, really upsetting. And now it's just like fucking at the point where it's like, you know, Star Wars is dead. It's been dead for a while. We had a little bit of greatness with Mandalorian, but that also is now dead.
Yeah.
And now we have literally the worst Star Wars series of planet Earth of all time, possibly. It's just
all time.
You know, apparently, you can use the Force to be a black lesbian and make your own child.
I don't want to make my own child. I just want.
Well, apparently you can. So if you're a black lesbian, you can make a child via the Force.
And a weird space alien.
And a weird space alien with horns. And the child will not have any horns or anything like that.
Interesting.
And there will be no U-Haul and zero chance of a domestic violence case. It'd
be funny if the space alien actually had both genders, and then when they did all this spiritual crap, it was like, oh, it just
if the alien was actually a Futanari.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. You know, just make it hard R.
Yep, make it hard R.
Yeah, show us her dick, and literally the dick in the vagina, and then it's like. And then just like show us just like it doesn't even have to be hardcore. It just has to be like the camera goes to the other girl, and then she's just like railing her.
Or make it so that like is suggested that they did it, and then the camera pans and it's blurred out like shit, but you can tell one of them has a kind of honking wee wee.
There's something down. No. Here's how you do it. Okay. Okay. First scene is none of the girls are there, and it's the witches, and then you see the girls walking along.
Yeah.
And one of the witches looks down, and you just see the little mast. You know. You know, like that thing that like sometimes you'll be like walking around, and if you see somebody who happens to be trans, and they're a little excited, and their little dress suddenly has like a little fence post, something like that. Just a little subtle thing. Now, nobody would be mad, but that's why you make it rated R.
Oh, I see. See, things can be cooler when you make it R.
Yeah.
Just add the hard R.
Just add the R.
Make it a hard R.
And then just like when like have that moment where it's like, or just do hints at it where it's like oh, like, oh god. Don't know what's going on. But just do something where it's like a weird thing where it's like kind of implied that like a lot of these characters are, or the aliens, trans, or Fudanari, or something. Give us something. And then just make it where it's like, yeah, they, like, I wouldn't even be mad if they made it where it was like the black, the lesbians were like, that was how they had kids. That would actually be kind of cool.
Like, yeah, like it's a tradition to hook up with these space aliens because they're both.
No, yeah, and then it's like, and then like maybe instead of like the bullshit where it's like, oh, the reason why everyone doesn't like this cult doesn't like the Jedi is because she's the last of her people. Because the Jedi were like, no, we're gonna kill all of them.
Or hell, maybe maybe it's more straightforward. The Jedi is just like, no, it's between a woman and a woman, or no, women and a man. Yeah. And they're like, we don't believe, even though that's the way the space alien is.
Yeah. Like, yeah. It was something minute where the Jedi were like, no, like we're not dealing with this. Something where they were like, this goes against. No, here's how you do it. Okay.
I could see a Flash Kids animation with this whole subject of like, no, this is gross, and I don't like it. It's gross. Ew. And then,
are you kidding me?
That's a whole Flash Kids animation I could see.
I would rather have them be.
Oh, it's gross. I don't like it. Ew. And then the freaking cuts back to the witches, and then them trying to do it, and then it cuts back to the Jedi. You go, ah.
God, what are we looking at there, Stan? Sir, that appears to be a penis going into a vagina there, sir. Oh God, what's that right there? That appears to be a vagina, sir, on the person with the penis. Penis. Oh God, it's just too hot. It has to just die.
What's going on? I'm so confused.
Like I would prefer it if it was like the Jedi were actually like, hey, we just murdered everyone for no reason because they were here's how they do it. Okay, you have it where the Fudanari alien is connected with the dark side. That's kind of the source of their power. They're very strong with the dark side of the Force and stuff like that. And so you have the Jedi being like, no, we can't allow you to live, so we're just going to murder every single one of you. And then that kind of spawns the hatred, that kind of spawns a lot of the Force user, a lot of these witches and stuff like that. And that's kind of like the reason why, like, that kind of is like the reason why they hate the Jedi. That would make sense, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And then instead of like having it where the black one created them, have the black one be the mother. And the reason why the kids display like her traits is because you just do something where it's like, well, you see, they're technically chimeric, so they display traits similar to your traits. That's kind of the way, like that. There's ways that you can do with this stuff and get away with it, but the way that they did it was just kind of like ham-fisted and fucking retarded.
Yeah.
And there's also a part where a little girl wants to become a Jedi. The Jedi come and they're like, well, you cannot refuse us in order to do our thing. And then a fire starts. No, that's not entirely what happens, but there's a fire that started.
Right.
And one of the little girls ends up stuck in another room. And bad things happen. It's not a good show. Not worth watching.
Oh. It just boil all the way down to, it's bad.
I guess this fortress of rock and stone is flammable.
Don't you know that in order to make income and get food for this base is to make very flammable liquid all the time, all day, every day?
I guess they have it on the walls and everything like that. Yeah,
they have it in these barrels all over the place. They have draped to put it on their drapes because hey, they blocked out the sun really well. Mm-hmm. It makes sense. They covered everything with flammable material.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
I hate how it literally takes me 2 seconds to like make something kind of better out of these shit situations. Like,
our session, we had a candle outside of our offices, or outside of our entrance, and barely caused the fire in our storm fortress.
Oh, frick. Like, us just talking about the show and, like, you just going over the bare bones of, like, why it was bad and how it was bad, and me just fixing it immediately with good idea. Like, immediately good idea. And it's like, do these writers think?
I think that here's the thing. I think that it's safe to say that, like, this is a problem.
Like... I think it comes down to the writers, and it's like, who are these people? What? How do they think? And how do they go?
Who obviously clearly failed science.
Like here's the problem with these a lot of for whatever reason, all of Hollywood, most of Hollywood, and like the media nowadays. These writers that they're picking up and they're doing the writing thing, I think is just another generation of writers that they're very gung ho and they're very like, I'm gonna write what I want to write, and they're maybe got manipulated by the.
Let's briefly change subject. Okay, here.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the series that introduced wheelchair users to the Star Wars universe.
Where that probably doesn't make any sense.
Or it's like Star Trek, where they introduce wheelchair users in Star Trek. Okay.
Where again, that probably doesn't make any sense.
But there is a way that makes sense.
Okay.
Because we've seen that before, and it's a very clever idea that they did. Okay. So in Star Trek Deep Space Nine, they had an alien. The alien lived on a planet with a lot lower gravity. So when they walked into the station, they had to use crutches to move around or a wheelchair to move around and stuff like that. But when they got to their own apartment, they could set the gravity whatever way they want, and they could use the gravity however way they wanted. And it was an interesting way to address disability. But you see, these writers are so fucking stupid or don't understand that are so focused on a really bad message that they end up destroying everything and burning it to the ground because they don't understand a good and easy way in order to set up a comment and stuff like that. And that's something that Star Trek did very well in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Okay. And to add to something that you said, like, you're 100% right, but this is the reason why Hollywood's failing. AAA video games are failing.
Yep.
For
whatever.
Certain indie game titles, they're failing.
Which ones?
I can think of ones with like deep stories and stuff like that.
Deep stories. Okay.
Like this is the reason why like some indie games fail spectacularly. This is the reason why a lot of things fail nowadays. Comic books fail. Should say that is because you have people who are making mediocre content constantly, and it's the death march of mediocrity.
Or the higher ups think these new writers could do a better job, and it's like, no, they're coming in with preconceptions of whatever the hell they think is good.
Or they're looking at their senior staff and they're saying these people aren't diverse enough in order to lead a diverse group of people. They hire staff who come in with prejudices. This is from Film Threat, by the way.
Yeah.
And what ends up happening is this group of people come in with prejudice. They go, "Oh my God, that senior, he's a white male, or he's white, or he's an idiot." And then they come up with a really good reason why they shouldn't listen to them. That person eventually leaves, and then all of a sudden you have all of this knowledge that was meant to be passed down to somebody, gone, distributed, destroyed, burned to the ground, let to die. And now suddenly the world's a little bit worse off for it. It's like when you hear like these people talking about like these lost arts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where they're like, oh, people eventually they're not going to be able to have like, there's going to be no like replacement for this technology or something like that. And that's because people, we take this stuff, we throw it away, and then all of a sudden it gets burned to a crisp, or it is somewhere, somebody's maintaining it, and they don't pass it on to somebody and explain why it's important. Like, this is the reason why we cannot go to the moon now.
It's not diverse enough, God damn it.
No, it's because Jimmy had the move file, knew where it was, had all the data, all the calculations, everything already done, and he went, somebody else will take on this stuff. And then his last day of retirement approached, and nobody knows where that file got shuffled off somewhere, or worse, taken home.
Mm-hmm.
And now people are like, oh, where's that file? Oh shit, right? So that's kind of the issue here. And plus, like, I would say, like, a lot of these writers don't have life experience.
Yeah. Or like the writers just simply never took a writing class, or maybe got out of their bubble, and it's like, you need to experience more than these like biased ideas that you have, because that's not how the world works, like, at all.
Well, it's just like, it's interesting that it's interesting that that's the way that they kind of are treating this stuff, but it's like, I don't want to be like that guy, but it's like, yeah, it's really easy to be that guy, because it's like, they don't have that experience. You're entirely correct by it.
Yeah. Just, excuse me, this Mountain Dew is kicking me.
In the ass.
Yeah. And so it's just to roll it back onto more Star Wars, and because of this new show, people saying, oh, it's a death of Star Wars, and it's because they've rewritten almost everything of Star Wars. And it's like, yeah, of course it did. Why? Of course it just killed like everything that you liked remotely, because like now they're trying to like explore I don't know, maybe they're trying to explore different ways of how the fucking the Force works, and maybe they can fix it in later episodes, and they have a plan for it or something, like, maybe. But it's like, yeah, of course it's gonna happen, because like there's not like a person spearheading everything. It's just whatever the hell you want to throw in is gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever.
It's just upsetting now, because Star Wars is, at the end of the day, episodes 4, 5, and 6.
Yep.
That is Star Wars through and through. Okay? You can sit there and you can say, well, Star Wars is actually this, or Star Wars is this, or Star Wars is this. At the end of the day, Star Wars is episodes 4, 5, and 6. That's it. Okay?
Yeah.
You can argue that the prequels are a part of that as well. You can argue that TV show X is part of that. Sure, whatever. But at the end of the day, it is always going to be episodes 4, 5, and 6. And then you have... And then on top of that, you have books. You have games. You have stuff that Star Wars actually had. Star Wars could have easily had taken Knights of the Old Republic and made a series about that.
They could have.
They could have made a female character and then just just did Knights of the Old Republic. And nobody would have complained.
Yep.
They could have easily have done the Thrawn trilogy.
Yep.
They could have easily have done that. Nobody would have complained. They could have easily have done multiple series after Star Wars. They never did. And what is that? Where has that gone them at this point now?
Yep.
Right? It's Star Wars is now a girl brand. It's now television. It's now a TV. It's now a TV brand. There hasn't been a movie in years. And people like I'm sorry, like I'm not interested to go see a movie. I'm not interested to go see a Lucasfilm property.
Mm-hmm.
At all. If I'm going to be honest, like I would rather watch Indiana Jones and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull than watch anything that these hacks have made in the past couple of years.
Yep.
But that's my opinion on it.
They ruined it.
It's not even that they ruined it. It's like it's dead. It's been dead for years. You've already killed it, and now you're digging up the corpse and pissing on it and shitting on it, and now you're sitting there.
No, they're trying to copy the DNA off of it.
After you raped Indiana Jones.
They're trying to dig it out and get the DNA and copy the said DNA and try to make other versions. And then
you're raping the clone.
And you're raping the clone.
If I wanted to watch something get raped to death and die again, I would watch Kingdom of the Crystal Skull because at least it's George Lucas and Steven Spielberg doing the raping.
Yep.
Okay? I do not want to watch Kathleen Hint and Lena Headland. By the way, if nobody understands the reference, I am referencing a South Park episode where George Lucas and Steven Spielberg constantly rape Indiana Jones in more and more ludicrous ways.
Yep. Or it's just keep referencing that movie. What was it?
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
No, Deliverance.
Yeah.
The fucked up movie. Frick. Fucking, yeah, like, whatever. Like, let the property go away the way it wants to, and hey, just think of it this way: you're free of your shackles. You can do whatever you want now.
This is why I'm excited for Deadpool, because apparently Kevin Feige finally got the message.
Oh, really?
And he's like, okay, so for Deadpool, we're allowing them to do whatever. They're going to basically take all the piss out of the Marvel Cinematic Universe as much as they want.
That's good.
And it's gonna be amazing, and it's gonna be great. And then hopefully it ends with Kathleen Kennedy getting fired. Actually, here's what needs to happen: is it needs to be Deadpool. Wolverine dies, sacrifices himself. Deadpool's really sad, and then he's like walking, and he walks out of the office, and it's actually like somebody goes, "Oh, is that Ryan? Hi Ryan, hi Ryan, hi Ryan," and then he walks by, and you see Ryan Reynolds walking, and it's just like, okay, and he walks into like the office, and it's just one singular shot, always behind Deadpool. Walks up, goes into an office, finds Kathleen Kennedy, and shoots her in the head and walks away. And that's the end of the movie.
I mean, he blew his own brains out in the first movie, so
it has to be something funny where it's like Kathleen Kennedy is sitting on a toilet and she's like reading a script.
Yeah.
And she gets shot.
Yeah, and she gets fucking shot on the toilet.
And then he goes like, "You're welcome, nerds." It has to be something like that. That would be the best ending for that thing.
Well,
but
I don't know. Who knows? Well, maybe when we know when it comes out.
Yeah.
Fucking what else?
Video games.
Yeah, video game.
What video game did you play this week?
I played a little bit of Nightmare Kart.
I've been meaning to play that.
It's free. It's totally free.
I think I have it installed.
I immediately installed it the day that it came out. It was just like, I just gotta find time to play it, or when I feel like it.
I just need to play Nightmare Kart.
Yeah. Just to give you the skinny on what Nightmare Kart is. Basically, it is a kart racer through and through. You can do Mario Kart sliding. Mm-hmm. So if you gain boost and you can slide, and then you keep doing that over and over with the jump. When you hit the jump button on the ramps, you do a trick. You are getting blood vials that help you get more boost and your energy. You know how you use energy to like hold up the shield or use for dodging and stuff. You don't want to get too tired out. That exists for if you're using too many abilities all at once. Mm-hmm. What else? You do have a gun, and you can pick up your other power-ups, which are other weapons and other magic spells and stuff.
So to explain to people, this game is basically
Bloodborne.
Yeah, it's Bloodborne Kart.
But it's called Nightmare Kart because Sony came down with a iron hammer and it was like, no, change names on everything. And it was like, oh god. So
Sony basically was like, hey, we're going to give you an option here because we like the Bloodborne IP.
Yes. And
to which everyone in the world was like, oh, new Bloodborne, new Bloodborne, new Bloodborne, new Bloodborne. No. No new Bloodborne.
No, this is entirely its own beast, and it's just a funny spoof on what if the serious property had its own kart racer type of thing.
Which, let's be honest here, Bloodborne is a game that,
it could probably actually someone could mod in a kart racer in that fucker.
Bloodborne is the game that I would want. Bloodborne is the game I would want somebody to make a kart racer in. Because it's unlike fucking I'm just gonna be honest, unlike fucking the game Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Bloodborne is at least fucking funny enough.
Yeah.
To actually deserve. Bloodborne is at least unique enough to actually deserve somebody making a kart racer about that, if I'm being honest. So, that's my opinion.
Yeah, there's so much. I think Bloodborne in itself, it just has so much shit, story and content going on for it that you could make a Bloodborne kart and it would be yeah, of course, that'll make sense. Or Bloodborne puzzle drop. And it's like a fucking match 3 game, but it's Bloodborne. It's yeah, that makes sense because you could throw anything at this IP. It could probably be yeah, of course, why not? It could do anything it wants. And fucking Nightmare Kart is just that idea just went to way more extreme, and it's fun to play. What else? Oh, another mechanic thing about Nightmare Kart. You know how you collect coins and you go faster in Mario Kart?
Yeah.
So in Nightmare Kart, you have to kill stuff that's in your way just so you can go faster on the road. So if you see like zombos on the road or bats are flying around or whatever, you start using your guns and start using your special powers and killing those things, you will go faster and you gain I forget what you get. I think you get souls for it. And the more souls you get, that's like, oh, you get faster and faster. And there is other racers in the game. They're all driving other Bloodborne-esque things from Bloodborne. So
this is the game that I intended to play this week. That and Hellblade, and then I just didn't. Instead, I painted minis.
Yep.
And had fun. So,
I mean, that's also good too. Just another way to unwind.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, there's a surprising amount of tracks in this game. I think I played it once and I haven't touched it again, but I want to say there's like 6 or 8 tracks, which is, you know, a decent amount of tracks, and it's free, and there's a lot of gameplay going on, and you can actually play this in like multiplayer, which is kind of nuts. Like, this game has a lot going for it. It's super neat.
This game is a really good game.
It's free. I give it a 10 out of 10 because it's free. And it's like well built. And I follow the designer on Twitter when when she was designing it. And like the entire
Hold on. She?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. What's her name?
Hold on. I gotta go pull up my Twitter and see.
I need to see if she has boobs or not. Is there personalized pictures?
There is. Hold on.
Okay.
See.
I need to know if this person's the best person in the world.
She's pretty cool. I've always every time I see her pop up, I'm like, oh, what update I'm gonna see now? Video games or just you in your very fresh look? She has a very fresh look every time she posts anything.
Could be worse.
Oh, well, there's this one silly image. Hold on. Let's see if I can copy.
Kart. Dev.
Yeah, okay,
hold on. Hold on. I think I found her name. LW Media?
I think so. Let me double check.
LW Media Twitter.
Oh, her Twitter name is Booster with a 0. Oh, Botster? B0TSTER.
Loud Whisper Media.
I don't think that's it. Anyway, I'll get you a link here.
Booster. There we go. Yeah, okay. Yep, okay. I understand now. Yep, I understand. I understand.
Like, I in my head, I'm like, if I see this person show up on my Twitter, I'm just going, oh, you're that cool guy. You're a cool person.
Oh, you're the person who made Nightmare Kart.
I'm like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Quick, sign my hat.
Slide my Charizard hat.
Yep, sign my Charizard hat. That's all. It's kind of
that
ruined.
I could have committed robbery from fucking.
Yeah. The hat that I committed robbery in. Please sign it.
Yeah. Oh. Yes.
10 out of 10. Go get it. It's free.
Yeah.
Did you play video game or do video game?
I played Helldivers 2, Halo Infinite, and what else? Let me go through let me look and see. Because I think I didn't play. I played Helldivers 2, Halo Infinite, and that's it.
Oh.
But I can talk a little bit about Helldivers 2.
Ah.
Game's really good. Still good. Still good.
Oh, thank goodness.
And I painted minis, and I didn't go outside.
As you do. It's scary out there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably better in Canada than it is the States, but still, it's scary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, without outside, like I go outside now and I'm like scared, scary.
I don't want to. Oh, I don't want to go up there. Oh
I don't
no!
want to go outside.
What is this grass? Oh, it's hurting my hand.
Ah. There's bugs out there. No,
Spiders are everywhere.
I played a little bit of Helldivers 2.
Oh, okay.
It is possibly still game of the year.
Yep.
And it's really sad because as a gamer, you know, I enjoy Halo Infinite and stuff like that. I think Halo Infinite's really good. Helldivers 2 is better than anything I played.
Anything.
It's up there with Baltro.
Yep. Man,
And
like fucking Baltro's so good.
it's so good. I played Darker and Darker this week.
Oh,
I can talk a little bit about that.
okay.
I was bullied into playing Darker and Darker.
Oh,
So I have 60 minutes playing this game. I played as a bard,
cool.
and to be honest, that game is basically it's a very interesting take on the extraction shooter. It's extraction with medieval content. So you basically play as a medieval character.
It's free currently.
Yeah, and it's a really interesting game because playing it, you basically are like, oh, it's a very good game. It's very fun, very well designed, and then like you finish it and you're like, I can see where they're going.
Yeah.
Is it going to be the best game of the year? No, not by a lot, but it's kind of fun. And I can see why people kind of like the extraction shooter genre. Now, I've died both times I played it. I have not extracted once. And,
Right.
Yeah.
I've died all the times I played it. I have not extracted once.
I've died every single time.
all the time.
And the way that you play the bard is basically you sit there, you play songs, and while you're playing the songs, you basically are like playing a rhythm game, essentially.
Oh, cool.
And depending on what ends up happening, you basically get buffs and stuff like that. Or if you need to go melee, you can pull a sword, or you can just hit people with your instrument.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's always the coolest, is beating people down with a fucking guitar.
Well, it's interesting because that game, the way that game does it, because it's like you play it and you're like, okay, we're just collecting loot and stuff like that, and then you're facing off against goblins and you're just beating the shit out of them, and you're like, oh, okay, this is fine. Is it as the combat's not that deep, but I think the goal of the game is basically to experiment and play and kind of like Tarkov. And it's fun with friends. I wouldn't want to play it by myself. That makes sense.
Ah.
And is it the most fun I've had? No. Not by a long shot. I would rather play something like... I'd rather play Halo, if I'm being honest, or Titanfall. And... I just think that I think it's a good game. I think it's a step in the right direction, but it's not what I want per se. That makes sense.
Ah.
But I'll probably play more of it. I'm also going to try to play more Thronebreaker, which is basically Gwent, the adventure. And yeah, and I'm going to try and finish Hellblade this week. So I have plans.
You have plans?
I have plans. I'm probably going to spend my entire Monday crying my eyes out. Or finding out that my dog needs to go to the vet. Because her footing hurts. But
damn it.
Yeah. I Do you have any questions about Darker and Darker?
I mean, I see it as like it's a kind of battle royale-esque game.
It's a Tarkov extraction shooter kind of game.
Okay. Yeah. Like but instead it's swords and knives and bows and arrows and stuff like that. So like, yeah, I've seen videos of it before and I'm like, it looks super neat. Like if once they could figure out like, you know, that special sauce that make the game really really cool, then I could see myself playing it for a couple of weekends.
This is a game that like when I was playing it, I was like, wow, this is going to be fun. And then I was like playing it and I'm like, this is okay. Like this is I suddenly understand why everyone this is okay and fine, and I don't really have a strong opinion about it either way. Yeah. Like it's not a game that really dragged me in. It's not like Hellblade where I was like playing it and I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. This is kind of fun. And Macy's correcting me and telling me that I'm wrong. And I guess she's really upset. But we haven't heard her crashing into my thing yet, so Macy. Come here. Yeah. You feel better, right? She feels better. Everyone. She's feeling better. Okay? So, yeah. That's my opinion. Yeah, no. I need to play more of it. And I need to finish off those 3 games. I just need to play more video games, I guess.
More video games. I
should just take a week off work and then just be like, when my boss asks, what are you doing? I'm just going to be like, playing video games. We're actually probably masturbating and not playing video games.
And you're jerking it and trying to play a video game at the same time.
I have a problem where like I'll play video games for like 20 minutes. This is the reason why like I don't stream very much. It's like I'll play video games for like 20 minutes and then be like, I don't want to play video games anymore. And then I'll do something else. And then like when it's like a really good game like Baldur's Gate, System Shock, I'm like, oh, I really want to play this. And then I play it and I'm like, I've been here for 4 hours. I should get up and do something.
I
like
see.
That thought process in my head of like, oh, I've been wasting time. I should probably stop. Comes to my mind. Yeah. Shall we talk about the important topic though?
Sure. And that important topic is cats.
Yes. Well, it's actually Grum's basically culture war news bullshit. We've been going for an hour and 14 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we're going to end it on a low note.
Cool.
Culture war bullshit. Black Myth Wukong, Chinese developer, refused to be extorted by Sweet Baby Inc. at the tune. Sweet Baby Inc. basically demanded $7 million. And now IGN, the story is still developing. IGN basically came out and has basically been hammering the fucking knife into these guys repeatedly, accusing them of doing stuff that's equivalent, or accusing them of basically doing, let me look and see if I can find it, sexual propriety and sexism and things that we at the Black Mayonnaise podcast do not condone. Mm-hmm. But basically, they're doing the thing that they did with Sweet Baby Inc. It's basically like really kind of like it's disgusting. It's disgusting that IGN feels that they need to play moral police when this is the same class of people who knew about the sexual improprieties going on at Blizzard Entertainment and did nothing. And Jason Schreier will never ever redeem himself from that at all, ever in a million years. But yeah, basically, PC Gamer is writing it. They're including the hit piece lie about Game Science and stuff like that. So the $7 million that Sweet Baby Inc. asked for seems like as if it was designed in order to basically force a company into playing it for complacency, to basically force somebody in order to make money. And I'm going to be honest. Okay, Josh, we're going to put our little conspiracy hats on, okay?
Oh, okay.
We're going to be like Alex Jones.
I'll get my tinfoil.
Yep, go get your tinfoil, okay?
Okay, what? And a hat. Okay, got it.
Okay, listen to me, okay? The liberals are trying to ruin video games, okay? They're going to try and ruin video games, okay? Okay, so clearly what they're doing, okay, is they're taking over video games, okay? Follow me right now, Josh.
Sorry, the aliens are still talking to me, but keep going.
The aliens are trying to take over. The aliens took over the liberals, and now the liberals are trying to take over video games. So that way, then they can convince you in order to go into the pods and eat the bugs, and then join Satan. Okay, the Satan Project. Okay, these are extra-dimensional demons. Okay, Josh.
The aliens say that's not it. They're not from another dimension. They're not demons, huh?
Yeah. I'm telling you.
Huh. Man, I don't know. Maybe my tinfoil hat's set at a different frequency here.
Here's my opinion. Okay, this is the actual conspiracy theory. Okay.
Yeah.
The conspiracy theory is basically very plainly the reason why game budgets have expanded. This is news where game budgets have expanded, is because you have consultancy firms now going to game developers, and they're basically asking for protection money.
Oh, really?
So they're asking for. So this is a conspiracy theory I've come up with. This is not proven. This is not fact. I do not have any insider knowledge about this, but from what it sounds like to me, if this number is real, how many studios are having companies like Sweet Baby Inc. come up to them and say, "Hey, you better give us some of that sugar. And if you give us that sugar, IGN and Kotaku, they're going to be off your back for a long time. And you know what? Maybe that sugar will go positively with your review score."
I mean, there's some real dirty, underhanded tactics from companies already.
That would be probably like one of the biggest.
I mean, one of the dirty, underhanded tactics I've seen companies do is they put out the release copy of a game. People do their reviews, scores, and whatever for that game, and then the day of after the release or something, they put out and there's a store. There's a store to go buy microtransactions, whatever.
Or there's a day one patch that fixes that does a bunch of stuff.
That does a bunch of stuff that immediately day one that's not in a part of the review at all. And it's like it just gets how it just feels like gross to some degree. It's like, no, that should have been part of that initial review, but you actively made sure that wasn't there. So it's like this doesn't look good on you because you did that.
We made the grind 20 times worse.
Yeah.
In our day one patch version,
because people were going through it too fast and said it was actually good.
They were praising the game too much.
Yep, clearly. And then when people actually do play it, they give it such a negative score that no one will look at it twice.
This to me, let's say that this number is real, and let's say this is actually happening. Okay. This does not look good from them at all, especially considering the recent controversy. Now, Josh, I know you don't care
for the most part,
And I know that some of our listeners, they're probably going to go, "Oh, Jeff, he's just being a fucking retard again. Mo, he's just being stupid and dumb." Fair enough. Yeah, I'm a big poopy butthole. Okay,
Yeah.
whatever. Okay, cut that out. Post it on your wall. Okay, it's going to be great. But let's say that this is actually correct. Okay, let's theorize that this theory is actually correct. This is so bad and damaging that, like, if I'm a dev and this company comes up to me and they say $7 million, I'm immediately saying no.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm immediately going, hey guys, just so you know, they're trying to extort me too. Like, if I'm a AAA dev and they do this, I'm immediately going, okay, yeah, we should probably do this because this is going to get the media off our back for a little bit.
Yeah.
If I'm an indie dev, I'm going, no. Because I'm going, no. I'm going to go to Cabrutas and everyone else, and I'm going to share the confidential emails, and I don't give a flying fuck.
Like,
Because this is wrong.
yeah, well, hell, even AAA developers, like, they probably have some leeway to some degree to even say, like, no, fuck you, we can even spill out the beans.
We can do this ourselves.
Yeah, like even like if this is entirely true and this is entirely what the fucking evil people are doing, it's like, how did you think this was not going to be leaked out in any way?
How did you like this to me? Like, let's say this game comes out and this game's actually really good and amazing. It's fantastic. And it's not woke in the slightest. It's a Chinese game. That kind of makes sense.
Uh-huh.
China has a very strong opinion on certain things, including the LGBTQA plus community. Let's just keep it at that. But let's say, like, let's say this game comes out and it's actually a success and really good. Suddenly you have IGN and these companies having egg on their face, and suddenly like, to me as a dev, that would say, like, oh, people don't actually give a shit about the sexual proclivities of the studios.
Yeah.
Unless it's horrifying, unless there's evidence of it, unless there's actually like a government intervention of it.
Unless
they
there's
don't actually give a shit.
Pictures of the Bill Cosby room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like these are people who've hidden that.
Yep.
So I'm sorry, like, I'm kind of perturbed when this is the thing that constantly is happening. And the other thing is that this has actually not impacted the sales of the game at all. This has now made the game a success. So now we're getting into the metal doctrine, where back in the 80s, you had people going, oh, this game is satanic. It might cause your kid in order to develop horns and start fucking women. Or
no, sorry, males.
Start fucking dudes.
Yeah,
and your daughters, they're gonna turn into lesbians and all that stuff. Oh God,
all of them will turn into sexual deviants.
They're gonna dye their hair pink. Even though
they're gonna dye their hair green and pink.
They're gonna dye their hair green and pink, and suddenly they're gonna be, oh God. And then they made a sticker that you put on your record, and every musician was like, put that on the record.
Please put it on the record.
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 Because when you put that sticker on the record, that means it sells way more than supposed to.
Put this on the record, because you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I just want it on the record, man. I just want it on the record. You know why I want it on the record? Because it's going to sell so many copies.
It's so weird how that worked out. Oh, this has explicit lyrics. Go, man! I need to buy that. It means it's good.
Oh,
it means
man.
it's so good.
How many N-words? Does it have a stat on how many N-words are in it?
Does it have a counter?
56 in this record. 56 N-words in this record. Oh
Does
my
it have a
god,
counter?
this is going to be such good rap.
Is there another sticker on the side saying how many N-words and how many other slurs that have been said in this whole album?
How many times does the word in this metal song is there allusion to murdering a goat? I need to know. Okay.
There's
5
at least
times. 5 times. Oh man, I'll just hold out for the next one. I'm hearing that one's gonna have like at least 6 times. There's an allusion to murdering a goat. Yeah.
Christ. Whatever. Hope that shakes out good for the industry.
All I want is I just want a video game. That's all I want. But
Yeah,
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 Yeah.
All right. Is that a podcast? Just make everyone mad at mad at people.
Yeah. Also, I guess Assassin's Creed Shadows now blocking Japanese influencers.
Huh. Interesting.
Huh?
Is that because that they got so many details wrong that they're would pick it apart immediately?
A historian actually was like going through and being like, "This is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong."
Yep.
There wasn't rap in the feudal era of Japan. You fucks.
Yep. I mean, here's the thing: they used to be really good about those little details. Now they might have slipped. Who knows?
It's almost like DEI came into effect, and that game needs to be scrapped and canceled and
set on fire.
Scrapped, canceled. Well, okay, I shouldn't say that. Here's what they should do. You want to know how they save Assassin's Creed?
They make
Shadow?
a game in Japan 10 years ago.
They released Assassin's Creed Shadow. Okay, it's gonna die. It's gonna die on the vine. Just release it. Just get it out there. Fuck it. Okay, recoup some of your costs. Okay, go to the team that made Assassin's Creed Mirage. Hey, Assassin's Creed Mirage team. Here's the old design document for this previous Assassin's Creed game set in Japan. Make that. Walk away. Watch the fireworks. Have fun. And move on with your day. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Also, Pat Bovine picked a fight with people over fucking Dragon Age, and it was fun.
God damn it. Of course. As you do.
I'm surprised he didn't know that.
I mean, I think he picks with fights with everyone, doesn't he? Dumb internet fights.
It was just really funny because he was like picking fights with people about Dragon Age, and then Paige said, "You should shut up," and he shut up, and he goes, "No," and then Paige goes, like on Twitter, he goes, "I'm going to stop talking about Dragon Age," and Paige goes, "I told him to shut up," and he goes, "No, Pat was a good boy. Pat was the best boy." It was funny. I really found it funny. Yeah, we're not talking about Dragon Age. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Black Mike Games podcast. You can listen to us every Thursday at blackmikegames.podbean.com. Subscribe to us as your favorite podcast on your favorite podcasting app of choice, including iTunes, Podbean, whatever the fuck thing you want. YouTube. We're on YouTube. Although I don't know if we continue to post there all the time. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, listeners. Have a good night. Bye.
The banks are collapsing, the yields are spiking, the petrodollars are dying, the bonds are defaulting, the monies are inflating, the famines are coming, the markets are crashing, the jobs are seeing, the debts are piling up, the cyber criminals Monday morning. I'm tired, bros. I'm tired of this world. When will it be my turn to be on top? I'm tired, bros. I'm tired of this world. When will it be my turn to be on top?
There we go.
50 lesbians.
So you're saying 2 dudes can't produce kids, but 2 females can produce kids.
Apparently, I mean, that's a little sexist, Josh.
Well, I mean, you need a vajayjay, don't you?
I guess.
You need a baker's oven in order to pull this off. I'm pretty sure.
I don't understand, but I believe so. That's the best I got.
Like, yeah, just like I said before, just you can still fix this. Just be like, yeah, the Force does whatever the fuck it wants. We don't know.
The Force allows you to do whatever the fuck we want.
Yep.
Also, I think my dog's foot is possibly hurt.
Oh no.
She hurt her. She went out to my parents' construction site, and I guess she did something, and now her foot hurts.
She's like roll an ankle or something.
Probably. She'll probably be fine. But I think we're gonna go for a slight walk, which means that we're gonna go until she pees and poos, and then we're gonna go home.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go for my run when I get home back.
Gotta make sure that you take a dump, and then we're going home.
Well, she was at the parents, so like she was at the parents for like most of the day, so I'm pretty sure she went pee and poo at their place. But yeah. Okay. Oh, also, did you hear the other fun thing?
What?
Guess what our favorite developer is doing to other developers?
Favorite developer? Is that Embracer Group? Is that our favorite developer?
Oh no. I was talking about fucking Sweet Baby Inc.
Okay.
$7 million, or we're gonna have our game journalist friends come after you.
Oh, really? 7 million.
7 million.
That seems awfully high.
Yeah.
Feels like you could trim those down a little bit. So
I just think that that's a little bit of a big number there. Just a tad bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a little bit of a big number. Big number.
It's just big number.
Too big. So big. But they're apparently blackmailing people now.
Cool.
Yeah. And game update stuff, I did the graphics menu. Graphics menu is done.
Oh. Nice.
Well, mostly done. I still need to hook it up, but I think it's basically done, and then we can test it.
Nice.
Woo!
Woo.
And then we can do environments and shit. And then
shit.
Sound, I think, is also done or partially done. We'll test it, make sure it's done.
On my end, turns out I've been I found a couple of websites where they actively hosted some ROMs and stuff like that for video games, and I was like, well, I'm gonna download all of these. And it turns out I just maxed the fuck out of my is it 8 terabyte hard drive or 7? I forget the number, but it's maxed out, and I have to start removing some shit.
Okay, so hold on. How does this relate to the game?
That I actually I was like, maybe I should work on it for a little bit, and I tried turning on a program, and then it's like, you need 250 megabytes of space, and I'm like, what?
What? Oh, so you can't do anything.
Yeah, I had to get rid of some shit. So I was be like, I'll work on this for an hour. No, I can't.
I was gonna do stuff, and then You know, I guess I fucked up.
You know what? I just look. All I wanted was every single title and every single release of the PlayStation of every single game for the PlayStation, and that's all I wanted. And that was a bad thing, apparently.
Excuses. I want to be able to show this thing next year. I want to set up a little booth, and then I want to have it where it's like you and me, and we're just like, yes.
Yep.
This is our game. Our games.
Yep. This game might suck now, but the next game's going to be really cool.
By the way, just so you're aware, did you go to the con?
I was planning to, and then things just came up, and I just couldn't go. So I had tickets. I know, like I said, I had tickets and stuff, but I was like, fuck, things just kept coming up, and I was like, I don't think I could go.
Because the impression I got from your message was like you weren't going to go.
Yeah, well, I was still trying to go. I was like, maybe Sunday, because I was thinking of still going on a Sunday. But then freaking something else showed up on Sunday, and I was like, fucking, God, fine.
Okay, so Josh fucked the cat girl?
Yep. Cat girl showed up on my doorstep.
You fucked the cat girl.
Well, first of all, in this dating sim, you have to, make sure it's not retarded. God damn it. Give your balls a tug.
Yeah, give the balls a tug. Did you give your balls a tug?
That's just a little.
Okay. I am not adding in sound effects this week. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I refuse.
I mean, it's kind of hard to go back and go, what did I add? Oh, God.
I can't. I'm not going to add in. And, that could be a mystery, okay?
What about... You going to add that?
No, I'm not adding that.
I mean...
I need to find out where that came from.
I was going to say, that's...
What are you saying? I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I can't hear you.
I'm trying to. Oh, where's that from? Is that from our server?
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Okay, that's added to the favorites. So now I have enough. I have enough sound effects to ruin somebody's stream.
Good. You just pop right in and just start going through all the sound effects.
Oh no, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop in and I'm going to say like, hey Pat, have you heard about DEI? And then where's the... I heard DEI is a really cool thing. It makes games really great. And everything that I say now has this note associated with it. I don't know why. But, it's really convenient. Makes everything I say sound more dramatic. And just completely, interesting and awesome and everything like that.
I like how when I do this, it sounds like a party is going to happen no matter what I say. So
I'm sorry, I don't know what you just said.
There we go. Party. I could sound monotone and sad and still have a party. So be like... Oh my God.
Disco Nitro is such a good feature.
Oh my God. That's a flashback. Holy shit.
Josh, I think you gotta... Josh,
Oh.
I think you have the sound back.
Whoops, I have a text message. I gotta go check that. Oh no, that error. Oh no, it showed up again. Oh, something got disconnected. Oh, something. Oh.
Oh man. That's favorited. You know, Josh, I'm going to say the N word. Okay. But all I have to say is that some of the people that you hang out are. Just saying. You know, that they're just sometimes it's just really concerning that you hang out with these people who are.
Huh? Oh, God! Put that away. Oh, I hate that. That actually sounds like coming from my fucking room.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, my God.
Left your lights on. Discord Nitro is such a great feat. It's just amazing. It's just the most important thing ever created on all time. Should we start the podcast and then start talking about like how we hate everything and?
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, I played some Helldivers this week.
Oh, that's good. I bought a video game thinking I was going to play it and I just kept getting distracted over and over.
What video game did you buy? Is it a porn game? We're not talking about. Oh, it's not a porn game.
I did play a little bit of Nightmare Kart. But I did also buy Mullet Mad Jack, Celico, and Fallen Aces. Because that Fallen Aces just came out.
You're a Fallen Ace.
Oh no. Is that a bad thing or a good thing? Does that mean I'm a badass?
Probably not.
Probably.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. But like all three of these games are like, oh yeah, I could try to play these before the podcast. I just haven't.
All I want right now is just a job back in the game industry. Preferably not at EA, so I could laugh when their game fails.
Oh, yes.
And they shut down the local studio. That's all I want.
Again.
No, they're not going to shut down. It's been shut down before.
Okay.
BioWare?
Oh, like they try to shut that down and just okay. Probably just left it as a husk as it is.
Yeah. They're like, hey, we're gonna shut it down. It's going down for the final time. We're just shutting it all down. And then everything kind of was like, you're looking at it and you're like, that's kind of scary.
I mean, as much as they were probably going like, oh, this will save our numbers and stuff like that to shut it down, they probably still look at BioWare and go, that's still BioWare though. Like, that's probably only saving grace is like, but that's still BioWare though.
We can shut them down. Or not. Oh.
I'm pretty sure they start looking at their catalog and or the production they're actually doing and going, no, we can't. We need that there.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe some actual thought process is put into fucking, what they're looking at to what they're going to shut down. And like, that's probably why they don't touch BioWare. Cause it's like, well, they're still making money.
They're kind of making money.
Yeah.
Problem with BioWare is that like if they continue doing the job that they're doing, they're not going to succeed, and it's becoming far more obvious that there's an issue right now between BioWare and the gaming community, and it's just really bad. But that's just my opinion. Shall we sync and start the podcast?
Sure.
Sync in 3, 2, 1.